You are now listening to the Be Your Own #LoveGoals podcast with Moe Ari
and Tiffany.
We just want you to remember that every person, regardless of identity, wants these three things: belonging, authenticity, and love.
And after a decade of partnership, we've learned to co-create these things and so much more.
So from wherever you're listening, we're going to go on a journey of becoming our own #LoveGoals. Now let's get into this episode. Hey, it's Moe Ari
and Tiffany
of the #LoveGoals podcast. It's so great to have you all. Thanks for joining us for another episode.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to rewind this back to about, I guess this was 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, when I was having a pretty challenging time. It was like we were 6 months pregnant. It was the pandemic. We were in quarantine. And I remember having a conversation with you one evening, and I was like, Mo, I really, really love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah.
And even saying it and like listening to myself say it right now, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
And the reason it makes me cringe is because it's so far away from what I actually feel currently. And if I would venture to say what I was feeling then.
Right.
Because I 100% can say that you're one of my best friends. You're like one of the people that I want to tell important things, in my life. And I really wanted to bring up this story to really talk about how important it is to not only like your partner, but have a foundation of friendship.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really, really value and why I think, we've been able to be compatible in the ways that we have is because we started out as friends, because we nurture that friendship, or we continue to nurture that friendship. And so I would like the record to reflect that I did say back then I didn't like you, but I would say that was false. And we've talked about this since that conversation, but I really do enjoy you. I love you and I like you a lot. And so I would love to get your reaction, maybe kind of retrospectively, of what that felt like for me to kind of just start this conversation with, I don't like you.
Well, I'm glad I have a mic today. I'll avoid getting up on a soapbox about it.
Yeah.
Because we've all had challenging moments in relationships. I think that that's the beauty and the challenge of relationships is that we are allowing another person to witness us as we expand, as we meet a limit and we transcend it. So I think that was a moment where you were being tried in all of the ways.
Yeah.
And really recovering your identity as a nurturer, as a mom, stepping into the fullness of that, being pregnant, being challenged like by the pandemic and,
absolutely
stay in place and not really getting to have the journey of motherhood that you had expected. So I was witnessing all of that. I think I held what you said for a while. Like, I don't really like you. I think it hurt my feelings rather deeply at the time. But I think our ability to talk about those things it felt necessary and it felt like it helped me to move beyond it. But I think at the time I was like really hurt. Like, what do you mean you don't like me? That felt like so much more important to me than loving me. And it's odd to say that, like, as a person in a relationship or in all relationships, like liking who you're with feels so much more important sometimes. And so it tells you how we kind of undervalue friendship in our culture, and that we sometimes will slap labels on relationships like mother, brother, partner, daughter, and we don't often consider that title alone is not enough. Saying I love you isn't enough, because the practice of loving someone every day is liking them.
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. It really is. And I'm glad you said that, because I feel like I've heard messages all of my life about the need for love, but not necessarily a like didn't
Mhm.
always feel like a requirement to be in a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
And so me saying that in that moment, although it was not true, I'm thinking like, oh, like I don't have to like you. I know I
Yeah.
have to love you, but
Yeah.
to
People did
like
say
you,
that a lot in the Black
yeah.
community. I
Yes.
have to love you, but I don't have to like you. It's not true.
And it's like when you really think about that, like, would you really want to be in relationship and in this regard an intimate
Yeah.
romantic marriage with
Yeah.
a person and you don't like them?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I would opt for that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's accurate. And I think a lot of that kind of rhetoric or that mentality of I can love you, but I don't have to like you got
Hmm.
created maybe in like confusion about what the practice is of
Yeah,
love,
yeah.
or it got created maybe in some painful moments around love, the
Mhm.
ones that challenge us to grow. And
Mhm.
so it's like on the one hand I hear this acceptance of
Yeah.
like I don't have to like you, but then there's this other part that's like, but am I willing to do the work to like
Mhm.
you, to
Mhm.
evolve beyond what
Mm.
I'm experiencing as a
Exactly.
limit?
Exactly.
We are not our limitations. So
Mhm.
even as we think, oh, I don't have to like you,
Yeah.
but do you want to? Because
Mhm.
that desire can really transcend
Yes.
this limit or this inability to like a
Exactly.
person.
Exactly.
And if we allow ourselves to search ourselves over, and this is
Mhm.
not me preaching at you, because again we've done this work, and I really believe that
Yeah.
I have had to do this work too. This is not just about Tiffany.
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
about all of us.
Yeah.
When we realize, we are struggling in a relationship,
Mhm.
what do we do with that struggle? Do we
Exactly.
allow that to define who we are? Well, this must just be us. I just
Yeah.
don't really like him. I've
Mhm.
said things like, we are oil and
Mhm.
water.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Right.
And the more that we realize that we have choice,
Yep.
we decide whether or not we're oil and water. We
Mm.
decide whether or not we like someone.
Yes.
Once we realize we have choice, then we realize we have the power to change something.
Mhm.
And I think that that's where you ultimately came to, which is why I have so much love and admiration,
Yeah.
affection, respect,
Mhm.
adoration, like all of the things
Yeah.
for your ability to just continue to evolve. You're not
Mhm.
afraid of it.
Mhm.
And that's what I respect about you, because you
Mhm.
can just say the stuff that hurts. I don't
Mhm.
mind that,
Mhm.
honestly. It's sexy.
Now I
Like,
will say there is some fear there. I feel like I don't allow the fear to cripple me. Like I
mm-hmm.
understand that okay, this I'm experiencing some fear here and then transmute it or find some other way
Right.
to go about it. But I there are definitely moments of like, okay, I really feel like I'm not liking him in this moment or in that moment. I really feel like I'm not liking him.
Yeah.
But I need to say this because I think it gets at something I might be experiencing. Not quite that I don't like you, but
Yeah.
maybe, we need to find different ways to engage in a way that feels
Mm-hmm.
light or playful
Yeah.
or fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say to your other point that in the moments that I feel like I reached a limit or I've reached a challenge where I'm like, ugh, I'm not really
Yeah.
liking this person right now. I think this is where friendship is so important.
Right.
These are the moments where you can really lean on friendship and lean on, hobbies that you really enjoy or like
Right.
things that we like doing together. I remember in the pandemic, we watched all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
We literally started from I don't know what the first one was, but we started from there and worked our way through. And I remember
Yeah.
being like, "This is so
Yeah.
nice." We didn't have the opportunity to go to the movie theater, but we were connecting over this really beautiful
Mm-hmm.
series. Well, not really a series, but this
Yeah.
series of movies and talking about it, finding connections, symbolism, even applying it to our own lives. And so I think that I would venture to say that it's normal in
Mm-hmm.
relationship to have these moments where there's challenge or difficulty.
Right. Right.
Um,
Because evolution
right,
requires some destabilization. It
right.
requires challenge.
But the willingness to overcome that dislike or
Yeah.
that I don't really
Yeah.
want to be around you is
Yeah.
like that's the work. That
Yeah.
is the like
Yeah.
that's when you know you in it. Like I'm
Yeah.
committed. Like I want to like you. I want to
Yeah.
be in the same room with you. This is what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, or this is what we're gonna do to make
Yeah.
that happen.
Yeah. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
about to challenge you. Is it okay?
Go ahead.
And I'm only going to challenge you to say the fullness of what your journey was, because
Yeah.
this is a part of what that
Mm.
was, but I
Mm-hmm.
witnessed so much more from you, so I just want to
Mm.
reflect that back. Not
Mm-hmm.
really a challenge, but it's
Yeah.
going to be a challenge to all y'all listening, so I'm looking dead at your eyes if you watching this on YouTube,
Yeah.
because what I witnessed from you was not just like this focus on what do I why do I not like this person, or what can I do to change it. It was what ultimately changed the situation was that you did this internal look into yourself.
Yeah.
What is it about Tiffany that I am struggling to accept?
Mm.
Something about my situation I'm struggling to accept. What is
Yes.
it about me I don't like that they are mirroring back to me
Mm.
that is frustrating me?
Yes. Yes.
And when we're able to do that and understand this is where I'm looking right at y'all. When we are able to look at another person and see them as a
Yeah.
mirror and understand that the things that I am having difficulty with in another person really are parts of myself that I'm
Mhm.
struggling to integrate.
Mhm.
When we can do that work, we
Right.
understand that the not liking the other person really is about trying to settle into something that is uncomfortable within us,
Mhm.
that maybe needs alignment. That's
Right.
not to say that the other person doesn't have some growing to do,
Mhm.
but the growth happens when we expand and change.
Exactly.
People start to mirror back exactly what we're putting out. And then we realize we're not so separate, we're not
Mm.
disconnected. Me and you didn't have really a disconnect.
Yeah.
What we had was that we were mirroring to one
Yes.
another the same challenges and the
Yes.
same
Yes.
frustrations. So I was a constant reminder, we in this pandemic, we can't see our family. That was the first time I'd moved away from my family. You moved closer to be with your family. You couldn't see them. I'm over here working out, losing a bunch of weight, doing all the motivating things, just trying to keep my head above water, being super like
Mhm.
consistent. And Tiffany was feeling like she was burning the candle at both ends, researching, okay, what is my life going to be like when I become a
I
mom?
mean,
You
every week
know,
a new change to my body. Like
yeah.
it was definitely a mirror.
And we were both meditating,
Yeah.
going for long walks. The quality of our relationship was beautiful at this time.
Mhm.
So I just
Mhm.
hold it as such a beautiful
It
time.
was.
I wasn't in the frustration with you,
Mhm.
and so it was a little harder to understand why you were coming at me
Yeah.
like that. Why I'm so irritating. I'm doting on her at this time, you know?
Yeah.
But what was frustrating her was seeing inside of me this resilience that she didn't want to lean into. That's what you
Mm.
ended up telling me.
Mm.
You were like,
I
I
like
have
that.
everything that it takes to make it through this, but I just want my mama here and I just want
Mm.
my mom to do it. And I was like, that's where it is. You knew you were a boss
Yeah.
empress that was going to create this beautiful company
Yeah.
and like be an amazing mother,
Mhm.
but you really wanted what you felt you entitled to, what you expected.
Mm.
What you told me was like, I
Yeah.
want my baby shower to not be interrupted by a pandemic. I
Yes.
want my mom to be able to come to the hospital and a whole host of other relatives.
Mhm.
And you didn't get any of that. And you
Right.
were like, I am resilient and can make it and meditate and go on long walks and do all these things like Mo was doing.
Mhm.
And many of them you were doing with
Mhm.
me. But I was annoying the heck out of you because I was being so positive.
So positive. I hadn't put it in those words before, but that's exactly what it felt
Ooh, and
like.
I see the tears welling up.
Stop. No, I really think that um you were a mirror of like all of the things that, a lot of the things we were doing together, like waking up literally every day. Now, I probably was waking up later than you because pregnancy, but waking up, meditating every single day, pulling cars, going for walks in nature, like being
Talking to the
still,
trees,
talking to the trees, like developing our own hobbies that we really hadn't had the time to do in
working
a
every
fast-paced
day.
world like that.
Yeah.
I was working from home, like just we were able to pour into our home. It was
I
just a
was
lot.
cooking all the
You were
time.
cooking all the time. I missed that part.
We were living in more square feet than we had ever lived in our life for less
Mhm.
money.
Mhm. Mhm.
Our responsibilities lessened. and we had
Mhm.
more income
More income.
with less.
It was crazy.
The abundance that was flowing was just so beautiful
Let
and
alone,
positive.
like, as much as I was upset about being home or cooped up, as I called it, not having to deal with traffic,
Not having to deal with traffic.
not having to do, like, I mean, our cars were parked so long at a point that both of our batteries went out. Like,
Won't he do it?
we were just really enjoying it. And I think you were this constant reminder, like, you were happy and grounded. And I remember being like, well, I have all of these resources at my disposal. I'm doing some of them. Why am I not feeling this? But I feel like it was these expectations that I had.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of self work that needed to happen
It was
around
a lot of surrender.
surrender, that
Mm-hmm.
how things are just how they were supposed to be,
Yeah.
or how things were just how they were supposed to be. And
Yeah.
that has been one of the hardest lessons, not just in
Yeah.
the pandemic, but throughout life, that I've had to really sit with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, like you were saying, I really had to take ownership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I could easily be like, well, I don't like you. What you gonna do to make that better? It's
Yeah.
like, no, you're doing the things. We're
Yeah.
doing the things. What can Tiffany do? Because maybe how I'm even interacting with you, or how I'm perceiving you, or what lens I even have
Yeah.
is just filtered behind what I
Yeah.
want that I'm not getting.
Yeah.
And so the moment I was like, okay, I need to go to therapy. I
Mm-hmm.
need to go to a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I really need to focus on me. I need to have these difficult conversations.
Jasmine is divine intervention. I won't say
Shout
her
out to
full
you.
name
Shout out to you,
because we
Jasmine.
don't really want her to get so busy where she don't have
No,
time for you.
no.
I'm kidding.
I mean, Jasmine, she's amazing, and yeah, I love her. But I was aware that so much of what I was experiencing, not that I was the only one experiencing it, but the way I had my relationship to it was
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So I could, like, me saying I don't like you and you being upset, I'm thinking you, it feel like you don't like me either based on my lens. And so I
Yeah.
could understand how your
Yeah.
feelings were really hurt by that. And
And I was doing nothing but loving you so much, having the best
I
time of my
mean,
life.
when I think back on it, I'm like, this man was cooking, running my bath water, putting cribs together, washing clothes, getting all the packages. Because I mean, I was pregnant. I literally, there were so many things I physically couldn't do.
Yeah.
And so
When we moved, I put the bed together, a king bed by myself because the movers were being raggedy. It was
and
just
I
so
was just
much.
watching, like, thank you.
I'm
I can't
throwing
help
like
you.
50-pound things across the room. Like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Um, that was such an interesting time, but I really feel like it taught me a lot. It taught me a number of things. So one, I would say it taught me just how much you or your partner or anybody that you're in relationship with can be a mirror for
Yeah.
you. That what you're experiencing from them is probably something that is just illuminated in your own
Mm-hmm.
life. It's like, oh, I should probably pay attention to that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't I we had talked about being mirrors before and all of that, but I feel like that was the
Mm-hmm.
first time in practice I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what that is. And so now I'm able to identify it now, where I really take a step back and be like, okay, what am I experiencing? I'm diverting all of this energy to Mo and what's happening over there, but what is happening for Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of the best ways that I was able to work through that
Yeah.
situation and continue to build on our friendship and continue to like you and
And,
desire you. Not
and
that it's hard to
right.
like you.
I'm easy to
Yeah,
love, and so are
you
you.
are.
But I think I was gonna say, like, I want you to keep having compassion for yourself
Mhm. Mhm.
because that was rapid expansion when you really think about how fast paced our life
Yeah.
was in Chicago. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm still exhausted with driving, the
Oh my
level of
god.
driving, and it's been years now.
Yeah.
So it was just fast paced, and I
Mhm.
was working 1,000 jobs, but I
Mhm.
wasn't in alignment with any of that.
Mhm.
So it was just not an ideal living space. So that was rapid
Yeah.
expansion for us to never have thought before. Let's honor the divine in all beings. To you're just like me.
Mhm.
To having a podcast where we talk about everybody
Yes.
just being their authentic love goals.
Yep.
This is rapid expansion.
Mhm.
So having compassion for yourself, that the lessons that you were learning then, and the lessons we were learning together was a part of this transcendence,
Yeah.
transcending those limitations.
Yeah.
And I love what you're saying about what the foundations of friendship really are. And I
Mhm.
think that ownership and the accountability really stand out to me,
Mhm.
because when we are able to really be self-aware and own what our
Yes.
contributions are
Yes.
to relationship, then we are doing the magic of relationships.
Mhm.
Dr. Alexandra Solomon, one of my
Yes.
favorite people in the
One
world,
of mine too.
she says this. She asks this question all the time in her courses and whenever she's talking. But uh, she says she asks herself as a partner, as an individual, what is it like to be in relationship with me? And then she
Mm.
challenges everybody else to ask themselves that question.
Mm.
So I'm going to ask you today, because if this is it, because this is the foundation
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
friendship, and
Yeah.
friendship is the foundation of our relationship, that accountability and self-awareness is so important.
Mhm.
And I just want to take a moment to model what that could be like, to just
Mhm.
turn to the person that you're in a relationship with. It could be your friend, it could be
Mm.
your partner, it could be a family member, and just ask them, what is it like to be in relationship with me, so that we become really aware of our
Mhm.
strengths and
Mhm.
our opportunities for
Mhm.
expansion.
Yeah.
That's all there is. There aren't weaknesses. There
Mhm.
are opportunities
Yep.
to transcend limitations.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. So what is it like to be in relationship with me?
That's a great question. To be in a relationship with you, I feel like is I describe it as like this crazy fun adventure. And I say crazy because you never know where it's going to take you. You never know where you're going to turn left, where you're going to turn right. And as a person that has lived a pretty constant, I would say constant, like pretty consistent life and upbringing, I feel like you provide this level of adventure and like, okay, like I'm not spontaneity in this
Mm,
level of like, let's do this or let's do that. So being in a relationship with you it's ever changing, it's
mm,
evolving,
mm,
and it pushes me.
mm,
Now sometimes I'm resistant to those pushes. Sometimes I'm like, again, you trying to switch it up? Like again, we dreaming something else. But I also really value that about you
yeah.
because your ability to dream up new worlds has inspired me to sit and dream and think about creating the life that I want for
Mm,
myself, that we want together, that
yeah.
we want the world to look like. And so, um, you know, being in relationship with you is adventurous and fun and it pushes me and it challenges me. But it's also you are just such a unique, special, just gem of a person.
Oh,
That might sound a little poetic, but like
I love it.
it
Throw in poetic.
yeah, poetic. But yeah, I would describe it as a crazy fun adventure, like this crazy roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
And not necessarily roller coaster because there's ups and downs, but because there's just suspense, but
Mm,
also fun.
yeah.
And even though I may push back sometimes, I really, really, I mean, that's one of my favorite things about you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So what's it like to be in a relationship with me?
And the response didn't have to be like all positive, right?
Oh, that's why I said I push back.
Oh,
I
right.
push back. Whether it's my own self or whether it's like, I don't really feel like that's aligned.
Yeah.
Um, your because you're ever evolving, then we're able to have conversations. That doesn't mean I
Yeah.
just sway you when you sway me.
Yeah.
Is that we come to the table with a level of curiosity
Yeah.
and desire to evolve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what is it like to be in a relationship with Tiffany? The first word that comes to mind is grounding.
mm,
I think it's not boring at all.
mm-hmm.
Grounding used to be boring.
Mm.
And I know I've said some stuff about being bored in our relationship
Ooh.
that I've since taken back
Yes, yes.
1,000-fold,
Mm-hmm.
because you are more adventurous than I am.
Really?
You just, I think it's a nice pairing
Yeah.
because as you're saying that I have this ability to dream up worlds,
Mm-hmm.
you have the energy to actually create that,
Mm.
because it's one thing to dream, but
Mm-hmm.
then there's another thing part to sustaining the dream.
Mm.
It's easy to create something. It was a quote that
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
yesterday, but the energy to sustain something
Mm.
is what I think you bring to this relationship. I'm
Mm.
all about the transformation over and over and over and
Over and
over
over and
again.
over again.
But sticking with something for a long time, you brought commitment into my life.
Mm.
You brought dedication and discipline.
Mm. Mm.
Ooh, I'm not about to cry on this podcast. I'm not about to do
Give it
it.
some, beloved.
I literally cannot. You brought consistency,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing. It's not a
Mhm.
boring thing. It is
Mhm.
the kind of thing that you really need
Mhm.
in order to have a long term
Yeah.
committed relationship.
Mhm. Mhm.
That doesn't mean we don't evolve. That doesn't mean we don't expand. You just bring this energy that is like steady
Yeah.
and still adventurous and
Mhm.
fun
Mhm.
and compassionate and
Yeah.
deep
Mhm.
and empathic.
Yeah.
You listen to all of my dreams
Yeah.
and you like the fact that I can see that you're inspired is
Mhm.
like, yes, you are right
Mhm.
there with me on the
Mhm.
edge of your seat.
Mhm.
It's beautiful to take
Yeah.
leaps and like land amazing places. It's even better when you are holding your partner's hand and you're jumping together.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful for your ability to be receptive,
Yeah.
and you allow yourself to go there with
Yeah.
me. It's
Yeah.
not just me like dreaming it up. It's like a
Yeah.
co-creation, because
Right.
then not only have we been able to dream
Mhm.
beyond where we thought we'd be, we've been
Right.
able to create that.
Yes.
1,000 times I never thought that we'd be where we are in our lives. When we
Yes.
got married in the Dominican Republic, you could not have told me that this would be our life today.
Never in a million years.
So I'm extremely grateful for
Mhm.
your ability to uh, affirm,
Mhm.
confirm,
Mhm.
be dedicated,
Mhm.
consistent.
Yes.
I needed that anchor in my
Mm.
life. I
Mhm.
could just be like the wind, free flowing,
Yeah.
or the fire of passion
Yeah.
that just envelops.
Mhm.
But you're just like this steady,
Mhm.
where you're able to flow with
Mhm.
me,
Mhm. Yeah.
and we flow together.
Mhm.
I might bring adventure to your feet, but it's
Yeah.
up to you to pick it up.
Right. That's true.
You could be rejecting that. So
Mhm.
I think your ability to just see the good in all
Yeah.
people, the good in the sacred in all
Yeah.
things. You're like your energy is like, not, don't take this in the literal sense, like you're
Yeah.
not like my mom,
Mhm.
but your energy is that of like the ancestral nurturer
Mhm. Mhm.
that sees the good in all people, has
Mm.
something positive to say about
Yeah.
everything, can take a difficult situation and just be like, it's about to work out. I don't
Yeah.
understand sometimes
Mhm.
how when we were tighter on funds, how you were not stressed.
Yeah.
You
It's
just trusted me.
I
You
did.
just believed in me. You
Mhm.
believed in yourself.
Mhm.
That has just been beautiful. So to have
Mhm.
a partner that sees me,
Yeah.
is like my real friend,
Mhm.
enjoys spending time with me, enjoys listening to me, that I enjoy
Yes.
having conversations with,
Mhm.
that also is super beautiful to look at
Mhm. Mhm.
and to be next to energetically.
Mhm.
That has been a real gift in this lifetime. You love my family. I could go
Mhm.
on and on about what it's like to be in relationship
I
with you,
received.
but it really
Yeah.
feels like a blessed experience to be in
Mhm.
relationship with you. The challenges is that you hold grudges sometimes.
You ain't have to go into that part. I'm just kidding.
And you can show up as defensive,
Yeah.
although I think over time I'm learning to just how to disarm you.
Mm.
Your little defenses don't matter as
Yeah,
much
they not.
as
Yeah.
to me now, because
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, what you want, pasta? Not
Tacos.
deflecting, but just like,
Yeah.
how can I
It's
allow,
disarming.
yeah, how can I
Mhm.
not be reactive to that
Right. Right.
and just show you love
Hmm. And
and
that
stay at the
speaks to
friendship?
your desire to have friendship and
Yeah,
to, cultivate this like
right.
for your partner. And I think I really receive those words that you're saying. And I think it's beautiful to hear and experience how your partner, or anybody for that matter, how they experience your relationship. I think it can tell you a lot about yourself.
Right.
And then pushing it a step further, like you were saying, and doing that for yourself. Like, what am I like to be in relationship with?
Absolutely.
I think it's probably very humbling. I think it's probably a very a great exercise in self-awareness.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
I love being in a relationship with you. I love
Right.
being your best friend, being married to you,
Yeah.
like all of that. I like it. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely like it.
I genuinely like it too. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we made this intentional choice to continue expanding. And I really appreciate that we have this space to be able to talk to all of you about
Absolutely.
how you create your own love goals together.
Yes.
This really isn't about me and Tiffany. This is about sharing the possibility that we can live beyond what our ancestors have been through, what our parents have been through, what the people around us have gone through. We get to decide that love can be expansive and possible for us. And so if you walk away from this episode or these episodes ever understanding anything, we want it to be what? To
be your own love goals.
And this has been hashtag Love Goals Podcast with Moe Ari
and Tiffany.
All right. Have a great day. Be well.
Bye. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Video episodes are on YouTube and Spotify.
If you want your question included in an upcoming episode, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Be Your Own Love Goals, or check out our website at lovegoalspodcast.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Bye.